Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the WCW Worldwide Review Series for the 15th of May, 1993. We've got about just under 10 of these left to do, and then we're going to move backwards into the earlier 90s version of these, maybe even go into some NWA at some point. Anyway, we move into newcomer Jim the Emerald Neidhart having about a 2 minute match, which really, as best I can tell, Neidhart is brought in to please his brother in law, the British Bulldog Davy Boy Smith, because Neidhart at this point looks sluggish, he looks lazy, he looks not good. Using a chokeout is an interesting deal. The next segment is the rerun of the pile driver on Cactus Jack on the outside of the ring from WCW Saturday Night. If you haven't already listened to our Saturday Night series, worth going out of your way to do that, as we have not. We covered it much more there. One of the most historic angles in the history of WCW at the time, maybe even in the history of WCW pre Monday Night War, is that angle. Ron Simmons here has a 2 minute squash or so. Power slam followed by a leaping shoulder block. Odd that less than a year after winning the heavyweight championship, he's in throwaway squash matches. I don't really remember him being in that many angles of major consequence through 93 into 94. Hype for the Slamboree upcoming pay-per-view. They spend a lot of time on old footage here. I'm not necessarily sure that ever pays off because I'm not sure that the fans they had at the time were the target demo who would appreciate guys like Thunderbolt Patterson and the Assassin and people from the Georgia days. If you're not going to acknowledge the Georgia Championship Wrestling name, there may actually be a new crop of fans that didn't even know that existence. Clotheslines and basic stuff from Scott Flash Norton, who is out and looking like $1,000,000, hits an armbar, a power slam, and away we go. Challenges anybody, anywhere, anytime, any place there, and gets a victory with the power slam. The first Flair for the gold with Anderson and Flair. I'm sorry. Pillman and Austin and Flair. Anderson is there. That's what made me think of it. This also is covered on the WCW Saturday Night version of Same. Amazing to me how much wasted time there was in wrestling, even in these days. Video highlight packages, which I've never been a fan of by any stretch of the imagination. If you want people to watch your stuff episodically, you should keep your videos down, not raise them up. When you give people too much video recap stuff, the ones who watch on a regular basis get bored, and the ones who don't watch on a regular basis have no reason to watch because they're seeing all the highlights. Dustin Rhodes and Rick Rude are going at it here. Good feud for them throughout the spring and summer. Rhodes had been injured previously on a previous week, and his shoulder is well taped up. Rhodes is your U.S. champion around this time and continues to be for quite a while. Rude had been the U.S. champion for actually over a year at the time. 91 when he came into 92, into early 93. The basics of this turn into Rude getting trapped in a chinlock, followed by Rude holding Dustin in a bear hug. Not exactly the Steamboat and Rude series from a year or so before, by any stretch of the imagination. Not that there's anything wrong with Dustin Rhodes at this time, but he was relying on a more southern style that kind of stalled things. Rude nails a knee to the back of the shoulder from the top rope on a prone Dustin Rhodes. Anyway, eventually Rhodes gets to the top rope himself and runs straight into the feet of Rick Rude in what generally is a babyface spot. Cut off by Rude, clotheslines along the way, both men brawling throughout. Rude has just about had enough of this. There is a back suplex, and a double pin. One referee says Rude wins, the other referee says Rhodes wins, and there is conjecture over the status of the U.S. title for the next several minutes over this. One referee says Rude wins unless he's the new champion. The other referee disagrees because there was a snafu there. The announcers battle over it, and we basically have a held up title within the next couple of weeks. We will be back with more right after this.